A lot of Western people don't really understand one thing about China is why does one single product are often from one single city? For example, around 40% of the wall socks are made in Zhuji, and around 70% of Christmas decorations are produced in Yiwu, and 90% of the lighters are from Shaodong and Cixi. 60% wigs are from Xuchang, Henan province. China has hundreds or even thousands of these industrial clusters, and this is very different from the US or Europe. And in most Western countries, factories are separated across the country to avoid the direct competitions. But in China, it's extremely common to see hundreds or even thousands of factories in the same city making the exact same products. And there's a reason for that. This kind of concentration brings huge advantage for factories. For example, raw materials are cheaper because of the bulk purchasing. Skilled workers are easy to find, and you don't even need to train them at all. Machines are cheaper to buy, to rent, and repair. And factories can specialize and cooperate with each other instead of doing everything by themselves. I have a client from Africa who buys around $500,000 worth of the socks every year, and his own country also has socks factories. Importing from China, he needs to pay around 50% of the import tariffs. But even with that, he still feels that Chinese socks are much cheaper. So we took him to a small town in Zhuji, the capital of socks. He was shocked, because in that town, there are hundreds of socks factories, but almost none of them can produce a complete pair of socks by themselves. Processes like knitting, sewing, shaping, inspection, ironing, and packaging. Each step is done by a different factory. The factory who are going to produce socks for him, they only need the sock tubes, and everything else is outsourced to nearby factories. And the factory itself isn't big, but the machines can run 24 hours a day, using almost no waste. Costs are extremely low, and in that time, some factories they don't even own machines. They can rent the machine when they have orders. This is a Chinese industrial cluster model, extremely efficient and extremely low cost. And that's also why many Chinese factories are not willing to move to Southeast Asia. Even the labor is cheaper there. The supply chain is incomplete, not efficiency, and the total cost often ends up with higher. I'm Jing. We helped over 5,000 clients source product from China in the past 10 years. And if you have any question about manufacturing in China, let me know in the comments.